Have you ever looked at someone you love, someone you'd trust with your life, and felt that everything was just a little too perfect? That's how it was with Sarah and me. Our life wasn't just good, it was a storybook. We built our dream business together, a cozy little coffee shop we called the Daily Grind. We shared an office in the back, our desks pushed together. We finished each other's sentences. People used to joke that we were two halves of the same soul. And I believed them. I thought our trust was the one unshakable thing in this world. But I've learned something since then. The most beautiful, intricate castles are sometimes built on foundations of pure, hidden sand. And it only takes one wave for everything to come crashing down. The first crack in that foundation was so small, I almost missed it. It was a Tuesday. Rain was tapping against the window pane. Sarah was on a phone. A quick, tense text conversation. When I asked her if everything was okay, she smiled that brilliant, disarming smile of hers. "Just my mom," she said, waving her phone. "You know how she worries." And I believed her. Why wouldn't I? But the air in the room had changed. A chill had settled in. And I was the only one who felt it. It was a tiny moment, but looking back, it was the start of everything unraveling. After that day, the small things started adding up. Unexplained withdrawals from our business account, always small enough to be written off as supplies or emergency expenses. "Forgot to log the receipt," she'd say with a shrug. Then there were the new, secretive phone calls. She'd take them outside, her voice a hushed, urgent murmur. Her schedule started to have gaps. An hour here, an afternoon there, dentist appointment, meeting a supplier. The excuses were smooth, practiced, but my gut, this knot tightening in my stomach, told me a different story. This wasn't the Sarah I knew. The Sarah I knew left her phone lying around, her life an open book. This Sarah had started writing in a different, hidden language. The turning point, the moment my worry curdled into cold, hard suspicion, came one evening. We were working late, finalizing a big order. Her phone buzzed on the desk, a notification from a bank I'd never heard of. The name on the account wasn't hers. It was a man's name. Michael. The notification preview was short, but it screamed at me. Monthly transfer of $2,000 to M. Graves completed. My blood ran cold. $2,000. That was our rent money. Sarah snatched the phone away, her face pale. "It's a client," she stammered, but the look in her eyes told me everything. The storybook was over. The beautiful castle of trust we had built was crumbling around me, and I was about to find out just how deep the deception went. If you want to hear what happened next, make sure you're subscribed. Thanks for watching. I'm helping him with his finances. "It's complicated," she stammered. A client. It was such a flimsy lie. It felt like an insult. That name, Michael Graves, burned behind my eyes. I felt like a detective in my own life. A horrible, sinking feeling. I wasn't a tech genius, but I was desperate, and I started piecing together the digital ghost of her other life. A forgotten email receipt for a romantic dinner for two on a night she told me she was visiting her sick aunt. A search history left open on our shared computer. How to open a separate business entity. The business name, Graves & Co. My heart hammered against my ribs. It wasn't a client. It was her company. Our coffee shop, the Daily Grind, was just one half of her empire. She was building another, and she was funding it with our money, with my sweat and my tears. The pieces were there, but they were just fragments. I needed the whole, ugly picture. I felt paralyzed. Confront her, and she would just have another smooth lie ready. Stay silent, and I was financing my own betrayal. I was drowning in questions. Who was Michael? A lover? A secret partner in every sense of the word? The not knowing was a special kind of torture. I'd look at her sleeping face, the face I loved, and see a complete stranger. I was living with a phantom, and the real Sarah was somewhere else, living a life I knew nothing about. The truth, when I finally found it, was so much worse than I had imagined. It didn't come from a dramatic confrontation. It came from a simple, stupid mistake on her part. She left her iPad at the shop, synced to everything. And it was unlocked. My hands trembled as I opened it. There it was. Not just emails to this Michael, planning their business, but photos of them together, smiling, holding hands. There were documents. She hadn't just opened a competing business. She had been slowly siphoning funds from the daily grind for months, creating fake invoices, overstating costs, all to bleed our dream dry and feed hers. And then I saw the most devastating document of all, a business loan application for Graves&Co. In the Section 4 collateral, she had listed our coffee shop, my life's work. She was planning to use everything we had built together as a guarantee for her secret venture with another man. The betrayal was so complete, so calculated it stole the air from my lungs. This wasn't a simple affair. This was financial and emotional warfare. She wasn't just cheating on me, she was trying to erase me. The anger that rose in me wasn't hot and fiery. It was cold. Solid. And it was in that moment, staring at that screen, that I knew I wouldn't confront her. I would destroy her perfect, secret little world. Thank you so much for listening. If you enjoyed this story, please hit that like button and subscribe for more. I'll see you in the next one. They say revenge is a dish best served cold. Well, my plan was going to be absolutely glacial. No screaming, no shouting, no furious texts. That would just give her a heads up, a chance to twist the narrative and spin even more lies. No, I had to be smarter. I had to become a ghost, just like she had been to me. My revenge wouldn't be a physical confrontation. It would be the undeniable, crushing weight of the truth, delivered in a way she could never escape. So I started my silent mission, gathering evidence with cold, methodical precision. Every fraudulent invoice, every single transferred dollar, every revealing email, every staged photograph. I compiled it all into a secure digital folder I simply named The Truth. This wasn't just for my own satisfaction. This was for everyone she had deceived. I knew exactly when and where to strike. I waited for the most public moment I could imagine, the official launch party for Graves&Co. The invitations were all over her iPad, a lavish, high-profile event packed with investors, influential friends, and her family. It was meant to be her grand debut. The night she presented her fabricated success to the world. She saw it as her victory lap. She had no idea it was her downfall. My plan was simple. I would let her have the spotlight she so desperately craved, and then I would rip back the curtain and expose the ugly, rotten machinery behind her entire production. The night of the party finally arrived. I remember slipping into a simple black dress, my hands surprisingly steady for the first time in weeks. A strange, powerful sense of calm washed over me. I walked into the venue, a chic downtown art gallery buzzing with energy. And there she was, Sarah, glowing, laughing, clinging to the arm of this Michael guy. She was the very picture of triumph. When our eyes met across the crowded room, her radiant smile didn't falter, it just froze solid. Her eyes widened with pure, unfiltered shock. I saw the panic flash across her face as she quickly excused herself and started making a beeline for me, probably planning to cause a scene and have me thrown out. But she was too late. Earlier, I had disguised myself as a tech assistant and connected my phone to the gallery's powerful Bluetooth speaker system. As she got closer, I tapped my screen once. The music abruptly cut out, and then my own voice, calm and clear from our coffee shop's security camera footage, filled the sudden silence. It was a recording of her casually explaining one of her fake invoices. A hush fell over the entire crowd. I tapped the screen again, the massive presentation screen at the front of the room, which was supposed to be displaying her shiny new company logo, flickered, and then displayed the first piece of evidence from my folder. The loan application, with our coffee shop's name listed in bold as collateral. Gasps and confused murmurs rippled through the room. I didn't say a single word. I didn't need to. The evidence spoke for itself. I just stood there, my eyes locked with Sarah's, and I watched as the color drained from her face. I watched as her perfectly constructed world shattered into a million pieces in less than 60 seconds. The color drained from her face. The horrified whispers of the investors, the disappointed stares from her familyette, was a symphony of consequences. She was exposed. Completely and utterly. There was no lie she could spin that would explain what was on that screen. Her reputation, her new business, her secret relationship. It was all destroyed in that one silent, brutal moment. I turned and walked out. I didn't look back. There were no screaming maches, no dramatic slaps, just the deafening silence of the truth, hanging in the air behind me. The fallout was swift. The investors pulled their funding, Graves&Co. collapsed before it even truly began. Michael, it turned out, had no idea she was siphoning money from our shared business. He left her, feeling just as used and betrayed as I had. The legal battles were messy, but with the evidence I had, I managed to secure full ownership of the daily grind and force her to repay the stolen funds. I had won, but it didn't feel like a victory party. It felt more like a surgery. I had to cut out a cancerous part of my life to save the rest. So, what's the moral of this story? Revenge didn't fill the hole she left behind. It didn't magically heal the betrayal, but it did something else. Something crucial. It gave me my power back. For months, she had held all the cards, moving me around like a pawn in her secret game. By exposing her, I took control of the narrative. I showed her, and everyone else, that I was not a victim to be discarded. I was a force to be reckoned with. The lesson I learned is a hard one. Trust is beautiful, but it must be paired with awareness. Don't ignore the small cracks. That knot in your stomach, that whisper of doubt, listen to it. Protect your peace, protect your dreams, because sometimes the person closest to you can be the biggest threat to everything you hold dear. My story isn't about the glory of revenge. It's about survival. It's about looking into the abyss of someone's betrayal and deciding that you will not let it consume you. You will build again. You will trust again, but next time, you'll be wiser. Thanks for listening to my story. If it resonated with you, hit that like button and subscribe for more. I'll see you in the next one.